Hey, Divine Ones, I'm Jerome Braggs, the intuitive that teaches you how to travel the path of self-love to a well body and a delicious life. This is video 8 in my 30-day video challenge, and I'm really excited about this video because we're going to start getting really personal in the next few videos. I'm going to be sharing with you some really personal things about my own journey. I've been doing that a bit, but this is even more personal and transparent and raw, in hopes that you could see through me into your own self to get the healing and the transformation you need. So today I want to talk about how I manifested kidney failure. Now, in the last video, I talked to you about how disease shows up as a message, right? That disease is not a punishment or a betrayal by our body, but it's a message that we have been disconnected or starved or depleted of love energy in the body for too long, that our body's health was made to run off of love energy. So our body needs to be full of love energy in order to be well. When it's not, when we've been disconnected from love energy for a while, and which is the source of us, which is the truth of us, which is also the energy of our soul. So that is the energy of who we are. When we've been disconnected from that energy for too long, the body can't be healthy, and it's going to manifest an illness. And it's going to manifest an illness that directly correlates with the energy that you have been holding that has been starving you of love. So I want to share with you in this video what the energies were that I was holding that has starved me of love that manifested kidney failure for me. Now, again, I don't say create, because I do not believe, and I've been doing healing work now for over 10 years, thousands of people across the world, and I do not believe in any of the things that I've seen that anyone would intentionally create suffering for themselves. I just don't see that. There's no one that would intentionally create suffering for themselves, but the laws of this universe are the laws of the universe. So if you're running low on love energy, the body just can't be healthy. That is law. So most of us aren't taught about that. So you didn't know about that. So it's not your fault that you are ill, but this is the result. The result of having low love energy is disease. And chronically having low love energy, not just like an acute dip down, but like living a lifestyle of being low in love energy manifest disease. And so here were the energies that I held that robbed me of love, that ended up manifesting kidney failure for me. And there were 4 main ones. The first one was exhaustion. I lived a life of exhaustion. I was chronically stressed. I was always in overwhelm. I was always taking too much on. I was the yes guy. I never really said no. I didn't really have boundaries. I was also heavy people pleaser. So I was always showing up to serve others. No matter when they asked me, I wouldn't say no. And I'd be stressed. I'd be taking too much on. And so I felt exhausted. I felt really tired and really exhausted. The other energy was deprivation, deprived. I felt really deprived of joy. I was in a job that wasn't what I really thought I was going to be doing for my life. It wasn't really what I had dreamed to be doing. It wasn't, although I liked it in the beginning, I was starting not to like it. And even though I liked it in the beginning, I knew that this was supposed to be a temporary thing for me, but it was becoming a long-term thing. And I wasn't involving myself in the things that I really wanted to do, like sing at that time and teach spirituality at that time. So I was starting to feel very deprived of joy and pleasure and fun. And like exhaustion bleeds love energy out, because love energy is not exhausted. It's very vibrant. It's very exciting. It's very uplifted. It's very abundant in energy, right? I was feeling very low. Deprivation also robs us of love energy, because love energy is fulfillment. Love energy is a facet of love energy is fulfillment. A facet of love energy is joy. And remember, I also talked about in the video before, joy is soul food. And when we're robbing ourselves of joy, we're literally starving our bodies of what it needs to be well, starving our spirits of what they need to thrive and grow within our bodies. I have been starving myself of joy for a long time. The other thing was, I also felt imprisoned a bit, in bondage. I felt I was imprisoned in the job that I was working. I felt like I was imprisoned in this life that I didn't want, because I didn't want to be a 9-to-5 person. I always knew that. Ever since I was a little kid, I knew, I had this feeling in my body before I even knew what a 9-to-5 was, that type of life wasn't me. I wasn't a person that would resonate with clocking in at 9 o'clock and clocking in out at 5. That type of life wasn't me, but here I was living that type of life. And not only did I feel imprisoned in that, I felt imprisoned also because I felt like I couldn't be aspects of my true self, not just in my work, but in my life. Like, I wasn't expressing my intuitive gifts. I was hiding them. I wasn't speaking about all the things that I had known spiritually before. This is all before my near-death experience. Even before that, wasn't really speaking about all of that. I was hiding pieces of that. And I also was hiding my sexuality at that time. I was hiding it at my work. I was hiding it in public. A lot of people didn't know that I was same gender loving. And so I felt imprisoned in bondage. And the spirit, again, the spirit, the soul, love, energy is freedom. Freedom is a huge facet of love energy. And so I was disconnected and starving my body of an aspect of love, which was freedom, by feeling in bondage. And so I had been living that way for years as well. Many, many, many years before that. So I had been starving my body, I had been malnourishing my body for years. And it had gotten to the point where my body just couldn't take it anymore. It couldn't be healthy and run anymore, being starved for so long. And so it manifested as disease. And here's the thing about disease. Disease is not a punishment or a betrayal or a failure by the body. Disease is an indicator. Just like the gas light that comes on in the car. If you have a car and you're driving that car, you've been driving it, and the car runs on gas. And when the car gets really low and you're too low on gas, to the point that if you keep going, the car is going to break down and stop, a gas light will come on and say, we are too low. Now, you have little signals on the side that tell you, hey, it's getting lower, it's getting lower, it's getting lower. If you don't stop and fuel up the car before it gets to almost to E, then your gas light's going to come on. It's going to say, stop what you're doing and go fuel up now, or you're not going to make it. That is the sacred message from disease. It's not a punishment from the body. It's your body literally communicating to you, we do not have any fuel left to run. You need to stop what you're doing and fuel up. And so this was what I learned. One was, here is how I have been starving my body. I had been running my body into the ground and robbing it of the fuel that it needs, which is love energy, to run at its best. And that I need to stop how I was living and change so that I started to live a life that fueled my body instead of robbed it. And I'll share with you in another video coming up what I learned about how to fuel the body. My body, so that I could start to heal. Because again, just like the gas indicator in your car, once you fuel up, the indicator goes off. Same thing. This is the same thing I have learned. I've learned time and time and time again. If you properly fuel up and get your tank, your energetic tank, your energy system tank up to full with love, not just up to a fourth, but up to full with love, fill it with love and stop draining it, you will heal and you'll return to well-being. And that's been my journey. That's been the journey that I've been on, learning how to fuel my being with love. But first I had to understand how I was robbing it. And that's how I was robbing it. And those were the ways that I manifested kidney failure. In another video, I'll talk about the other disease that I manifested and how I manifested that. But that was it. And understanding that changed my life. This was a game changer, because this wasn't about what I was eating and not eating. This wasn't about what my family history was. This was about how I was living, how I was living, how I was thinking, how I was treating myself, and learning instead to treat myself in ways that fueled me with love, to love myself so that I could be well, to learn how to love myself well again. I hope this video has helped you. We're going to continue. This is just number 8. So much more to go. But as always, I love you. Now go love yourself. Bye.